My name is Abby Smith.
And I'm Peyton Smith.
I'm Madison Smith.
The idea of a medical mission trip was something that I'd wanted to do for several years. I've been in the medical field for about 20 years, and I'd never done anything like that. So in June of 2022, I was having a pretty rough time in my personal life, and I saw Scott Carter on the runway and thought this was kind of God speaking to me. So I went up to Scott and I asked him, did Celebration have anything in line for medical missions? And he said absolutely, that Marty Walker had a medical mission trip scheduled for spring of 2023. And when I met with Marty, she immediately said yes, and she had the dates lined up. It was March 10th through the 17th, which would have been the girls' spring break. And that was not really what I had envisioned to do, but when I mentioned that that was the girls' spring break and would they be allowed to go, she said that's something that they'd have to look into. They had never taken any children on any of the medical mission trips. At that time, Addison would have just turned 10 and Peyton was 12. We didn't find out until January of 2023 that the girls were actually allowed to go with us. So we bought passports, we got ready to go, just kind of praying over it. I will say at the end of the trip, we found out from Mark, who was the leader of God Said Go. He actually told Marty no initially. She was too young, they'd never had a child. But he said it was remarkable. They did such a great job being there, working with the kids, and she was their youngest missionary that they had with God Said Go.
Going on a mission trip with my mom was like, I felt a little bit safer.
I think it was like a good first mission trip because you could realize that like the house we live in is so different from the house that they live in, and all the opportunities that we have, it's not the same as them.
We kind of live in a bubble. The girls, what they've experienced is not what they saw in Guatemala. And I was concerned originally because there's poverty, and just the life that they were going to see was entirely different than how we live here. We were going in across lava rocks and into villages where kids don't have running water. They don't have 3 meals a day. And for them to experience that, while it was really great, it was also kind of heartbreaking.
I was most excited to go see all the kids in Guatemala because I'm a leader for Celebration, their blast team. So it was cool to go see the kids over there.
We started with kids camps. We broke it up. So each village probably had between 30 and 50 kids. So we had the kids aspect, and in doing that, we were able to bring the village in, the moms, the dads, the sisters, the brothers, the older kids in the village. And we also held the health clinic while we were playing with kids, and we kind of split and did that.
So I was a group leader, so me and Addie went and we had about 10 kids, and we went to each one of the different stations, and then like they would all play, and it was really fun. On the 4th day, we went to LDK, and that was a place where our church had completely funded their entire kitchen and all of the place for them to go. We also got to drive over lava rocks to get there, and we went over volcanoes, and we were also in the back of pickup trucks going over them.
It was so fun and bumpy. They underestimated bumpy.
What I took away from the trip is that it didn't matter how young you were or how you were living or anything, you can still go serve people.
Instead of spending my spring break here, I spent it in Guatemala, and I loved it. And it was like a one-time thing. Well,
we want to go back.
Yeah.
Some of my friends have already told me they want to do one because that sounds so fun to do over spring break. And it's like an opportunity to show people the other side of the world and how they live and how to introduce them to Jesus.
What I would say to kids who want to go on a mission trip is go for it, because you're never too old or never too young to go on a mission trip.